Hello, my name is Slave, and this will be my first YouTube uploaded StarCraft 2 cast. Today I have for you a TvZ, the Terran being in the Diamond level and the Zerg being in Masters. This was submitted to me on reddit.com/r/castit. Seriously, check it out. Awesome little sub. Mr. Weiman here was the submitter, so he will be our hero of the day. And we'll get this game started off real quick. Weiman spawning on the right-hand side here, and his opponent, TAW Architect AM, is the red Zerg. This map is Bridgehead, and if you don't know anything about it, you will soon, because it is very controversial. Many people bemoaning these back rocks, saying that it's very Zerg strong, especially against Protoss players. And as Weiman is saying here, what the fuck is this map? He is unranked for this match, so it seems as though he was playing his placements when he started this game. Usual opening things here. Architect sending his overlords across. No sketchy early pools, and a normally timed supply depot coming out of Weiman, the Terran player. One thing that you'll see a lot on this map is backward hatch throwing downiness, and I wonder if we'll see it in this game. I'm not entirely sure yet. I have not watched it, so we'll find out. Normally timed barracks here coming down, and I suspect we'll be seeing a refinery very quickly. Actually, yes. Rallying his SCV out to get that done there. You're going to see a 15 hatch come out of Architect, the Zerg player. Once again, very standard. Other Overlord looking like he's heading towards the 3rd and 4th area down here for scouting purposes and possibly to creep out that area and slow down the expansion of Weiman. We're going to see, once again, just very standard stuff here. See a 16 pool probably come out of the Zerg player here shortly, with Weiman moving out on the map to scout. Interesting thing here that this isn't a wall off. I could have swore that that was, but it seems not. He is going to move his barracks over there to block that off now. SCV is headed out there. We'll follow him. There's not much else to look at right now, although I take that back. We have a pool and a, what do you call it? The gas thing for Zergs coming out over here, so maybe we'll see some early aggression out of our Zerg player. Orbital just finishing up for Weiman. We'll see if he maybe will be putting down his second CC shortly, or moving up into some tech for some interesting aggression. Reaper finished and moving across the map for the scout here. And it won't be seen by the Overlords, although it is fairly standard build, so I don't think that it'll be too unexpected out of Architect. He does have 4 Lings on the way, and another Overlord moving out to the front of his base in order to see. And as you may have noticed, Weiman did check back here for this sketchy proxy hatch spot, and there was not one down here. He is putting down his natural now, as well as a factory, and starting up his reactor for marine production. If I had to make a guess, I would say he'll be transferring his factory onto that reactor so that he can crank out some Hellions. Harass going down right now on the main, and almost loses that Reaper. However, it does stay alive. Speed is started for the Zerg player. He'll be getting that up fairly soon while he drones up his natural. 2 queens out, and another one on the way in the main. Now after he gets his speed, he pulls out 2 of his drones from the extractor. So he's probably not going to be pushing roaches or anything, probably just going to wait for that 100 gas to get his hive, or lair rather, started. 2 queens here now. That Reaper really is not going to be much of a problem any longer. Weiman with a fairly good supply depot here. That'll just keep him aware of what's going on these back rocks. And I was correct. We do have the Hellions moving out onto the map now, trying to take some map control. Now there's still no 3rd out of the Zerg player. that is something I believe we should be seeing very soon, if not already. I think that he's just playing it a bit safe with this map, although he did just plant it down. That should get denied by these Hellions if he moves forward, but I don't think he will. He's just not going to step up in time. Two more moving across the map, and he could put some damage down on that. Currently, there's only 3 Zerglings on the field and 3 Queens, so he could probably cancel that third hatch if he moves forward with his Hellions, maybe waiting for these last 2 to move across the map. We do see the Roach Warren coming down for the Zerg player. Not messing around. Maybe he saw those Hellions and figured that he would be safe defending against them with some Roaches, you know, play it a little bit safer. Queen stepping out to attack as well. Ling's playing it safe and not getting too far extended. I think that he's going to get this Queen for free. He shouldn't have taken that off creep. Zergling's getting a decent surround here. Roaches are on the way, so I don't see this doing too much more damage. 3 drones going down. 4, maybe 5 drones will go down, although they're just gonna go ahead and get cleaned up. Now behind this, Weiman does have his 3rd CC down. He's got 4 Marines and 2 more Hellions. He's gonna put down a safety bunker, it looks like. The 3rd base did not get canceled for Architect, so he is sitting fairly pretty on his economy. Currently, we are looking at 39 drones to 31 SCVs. A fair discrepancy, but if you look at the income, it's not that big. SCVs are very strong. Looks like we're just seeing all Marines being produced out of Weiman here. Stim is Stim complete? Stim is complete, and he's going to get his +1 right now. More Hellions moving out across the map. Looks like they're going to run into these Roaches about midway. Want to be watching out for those. You don't want to lose anything. He does lose 1. And I guess he's going to go try to swing by for a scout. He could maybe kill off a couple of drones here, but I don't know. Nope, it doesn't look like it. It looks like he's just going to get trapped and killed off. Now, he will see that there is not a 4th if he goes down there, but it's not going to. He's going to go ahead and try to pick off 1 more drone and lose the rest of those Hellions. Evo's coming down, as well as a Baneling nest for the Zerg player. Fairly standard. Going to start moving into probably Mass Zergling and Baneling. And I'm sure that as soon as this layer finishes, we'll be seeing a Spire going down. We got 3 gas up and 1 more just finishing up. Right on time for the Zerg player. Still staying at home, though. Not really moving out onto the map. I can't blame him for that. If he gets caught out with those Roaches against some bio, he will get beat up. And we have 3 more racks on the way. 4 more racks, sorry, on the way, as well as 1-1 finishing up very shortly for Weiman. He's a little undersaturated in this main base, but I think that with these upgrades, he's going to be in a strong position against the composition that Architect is carrying right now. There's a proxy hatch going down, as well as his 5th and 6th gases. Going to go ahead and start saving up that gas for when his inevitable Spire finishes, which will be not very soon. He has not laid it down yet. Instead opting for Baneling Roach style. Now this is a lot stronger versus meching players. It does very well, especially if there's an odd combination of bio and mech, but I don't really like the composition compared to what Weiman has, who it's just going to be mass bio. And if he decides to go tech lab on enough of these barracks, then he will have plenty of Marauder production. Currently, it looks like he's putting down 4 reactors on those, but he still does have double Marauder production currently, and if you're cranking out 8 Marines and 2 Marauders with the Widow Mines, you're going to be very pretty. 4th base finishing up for Architect. Pretty standard economy against a 3-base Terran. You want to have those 4 bases up. Drop going down in the back of the main and the 3rd. Wyman doing a little bit of damage here, but it looks like it's going to get cleaned up before he loses too many drones. And it is, he could save this medevac if he gets out of there. The other medevac being dropped into the natural, and once again, not doing too much damage. It looks like he might just try to get out of here. Our Zerg player is going for the +1 melee and +1 armor. Melee is going to be a lot more useful for our Banelings and our Zerglings. Not so much for the Roaches, that she does have quite a bit of right now. Now, the Spire is going to be finishing up soon, so I'm sure we'll be seeing some more Zergling, Baneling, Mutaplay. Did he miss speed? No, he didn't. Okay. I thought that he had for a second there. Weiman just posting up out at his third here. Pretty standard. Got 2-2 on the way, as well as +1 armor for ships and other such mechy things. A little oversaturated in his main. Could probably transfer those out to either his third or his natural. Actually, it looks like he's just set with SCVs right now. Push out a little bit here with his production. I can't blame him for wanting to do so. There are a lot of Roaches here, but he is +1/+1 bio, and will have +1/+2 very soon. Looks like we got more barracks on the way for the Terran player. 3 more barracks. His production is just going to be insane. Architect's going to see Weiman pushed forward here and maybe move into a position. It looks like he went for some Corruptors to actually try and clean up the medevac count, and I actually like that move with this composition. His Mutalisks are great, but when you go Corruptors, you have really tanky units, both in the air and on the ground. And so if he can make some Baneling connections happen... with none of these... Okay, he is going to get those burrowed. However, he doesn't really need to. Okay, there he goes. Looks like he just missed Weiman. And I just missed a drop in the natural. Not doing a whole lot of damage. It looks like Architect reacted well enough. These mines are going to get burrowed now. Let's see what kind of hits he's going to get with these. Oh, that was a pretty decent one. Killing off a fair number of these Banelings. But it looks like Weiman's just going to get cleaned up. He's going to have to bail out of there. Too many Roaches, too much tankiness out of the Zerg player. Zerg player, by the way, is going for +1 weapons right now for air, so his Corruptors are going to be doing even more damage. Architect moving forward, setting up in a pretty decent position. He's going to get a good surround on this bio ball. Widow Mine's getting burrowed in there. Is going to need to make some really great connections. Oof, not the best if I've ever seen them. But the production that Weiman has is very good. His defender's advantage may pull him through this one. It looks like he's starting to pull ahead in the army count, and these Corruptors may be killing the medevacs, but they're not going to do anything against what's left on the ground. The Roaches do get cleaned up, and Architect will be pulling back. Drop on its way out now. I like that. I like this idea. He'll be taking advantage of the lack of an army out of Architect, as well as doing some economic damage. The 4th base is set up with both of the gases taken and just a few drones here mining for gas. While Weiman, it does not seem, has started his 4th... Oh, there it is. The 4th CC is going down right now as the drop strolls on into this natural. It looks like, no, he's not going to think better. He's going to go ahead and drop that sucker in there. Maybe get a queen out of this and some drone kills. Architect now reacting, while Weiman moves across the map. He could catch all of these Banelings before they hatch, and that would be clutch. This drop in the natural is killing off everything, while in the main, we have all of Weiman's bio moving forward into the 3rd. Nothing down here left. Architect reacting way up into his natural. Baneling strolling in here. They're not going to make the best of connections, and there's still plenty of bio left. These Ultralisks are going to do a lot of damage, but the Marauders are just crushing them away. Medevac does get out of there. Architect coming out on heavy. He's going to lose that medevac that he had up in the natural. It's no good, but he did do a lot of damage up here to the economy of Architect. There's not a whole lot here, and Architect is just moving forward. I think that he should be able to wipe out what's left here if he's not careful. That was an amazing connection. Backing off here, leaving these Ultralisks unhelped is not a very good idea. Both of them going down. And just Zerglings and Roaches with Corruptors left. The Corruptors spitting on the Marauders. A nice little move there. I like what he did there. Architect backing off. coming back in with the Banelings. Banelings, see what kind of connections they're going to get. A really great wraparound, but still, they hit mostly on the Marauders. And there's still plenty of Marines left here. And oh my god, a couple of excellent connections in the back with these Widow Mines. Weiman pushed back into his main base, taking that bunker that he has there still. It's a nice timed bunker. This Ultralisk is just going to town right now. It looks like Weiman had misclicked and was move commanded. Ultralisk does go down, 2 more medevacs come out, and right now the army supply is vastly in favor of Architect. He's going to go ahead and clear out this 3rd base while Weiman transfers everything up into the 4th. Weiman does clean up everything that is outside of his 3rd and actually does not lose the base, which is a very, very good thing for him. Architect moving on back onto his 5th base here and making up some Banelings. Income is vastly in Weiman's favor. It looks like with this damage done here, Architect hasn't really recovered from his economy. He's basically mining off of 1.5 bases here. He got a little preoccupied and missed his macro. Beginning to saturate this 5th base now, though. It'll help bring him back into the game a bit. Weiman is producing 3 Marauders, 2 Widow Mines, and 13 Marines, all at the same time right now. And it looks like the army value has moved directly back into his favor. He's going to want to burrow those Widow Mines. Doesn't quite get him down. And nope, no shots off from those Widow Mines. Lose the majority of his army, but he's got a lot left to back it up here. That one Baneling making a great connection right there. Drop down at the 5th, and oh, there it is, the last vestige of an economy that Architect could have had. Excellent positioning here. All the Zerglings getting caught up, and he's going to manage to pick up that base. Even if he loses this medevac, it's still a fantastic trade for him. Still, more bio coming out here, and this is 3-2 bio versus what is now 3-3 melee. Medevac going to the natural, and another medevac what looks like it's going to maybe the 5th or the main if he catches this in time. Yep, it is going to be going into the 5th here. Architect not quite noticing yet. There are a couple of Marauders accidentally walking up into the main here. He's going to lose this drop, but he is doing damage over here in the 3rd. And there's still no base down here. Still no base being placed down. He does not have enough minerals to get that down. And actually, Weiman is just all over the map right now. In the natural, in the 5th, and in the 4th. There's just no chance this base is going back up. As well as just constantly cranking out units. Weiman is ahead by about 1,000 minerals in his army supply. So he's sitting pretty after what was a very close call for him. He does have this, what I guess is 6th base up, 5th base up. 4th is fully saturated now. It looks like he pulled all of his SCVs out of maybe his natural or his 3rd base in order to saturate that. And he's just positioning himself great here outside of his 5th base, waiting on, and dropping, of course, in the main. So he's waiting on the right engagement, dropping in the 5th again of Architect, and doing some damage. The more and more drones get killed off here, the less and less I like Architect's position. I will lose this drop, but only after, once again, killing quite a few drones. The count is now 71 drones to 69 SCVs, and that is not a place you want to be in as a Zerg. Drop in the main here. I can barely keep up with Weiman. He is all over the map right now, just dropping everywhere, and it is really working to his advantage. This base still not back up yet. 5th base finally starting to get close to saturated, but still with no gas mining on it. And Architect, he just doesn't quite have the composition that he wants to be defending these drops. These Corruptors could be used, but he's not in the right position with them. He's just keeping them straight in with his army, and he's going to move in on the 5th base here. Going to try to take that out. It looks like that's really his last chance. Moving forward with these Banelings, not the greatest of hits. And oh, those Widow Mines just destroyed the Banelings. And GG from Architect. That was a fantastic game, and thank you again, Weiman, for submitting that to me. I apologize for the wait. I was going through some stuff and just finally got everything set back up. If you guys liked my cast, please like, follow, whatever you do on YouTube. To be honest, I'm still new to the whole process, but just let me know. Hit me up on Reddit, r/u/slaveaslave, spelled SLAVA. S-L-A-V-E. This was a great game. I really enjoyed this, and I will be attempting to upload more and more of these videos over time, trying to get also into the legacy of the void casting, as I've been playing a whole heck of a lot more than that lately. So I hope you enjoyed yourselves, and have a fantastic night.